Good morning and good morning. Hope you had a great weekend. This is I put a link in the box here for finance.yahoo.com. This is their link for the longer list of earnings. So most of the time we're looking at earnings whispers, which we will look at in a little bit. But there's a much longer list of earnings. Earnings whispers, kind of picks out certain ones according to whatever their parameters are. And but this is the longer list each day. You'll see this one, for example. There's a list, nice long list that we see. They put the graphic together really nice, earnings whispers. But if you want a longer list, that link is this is finance.yahoo.com, and this is their calendar. So that is the link that I put in the box. If you don't see it, let me know, and we will repost it. All right. For those of you who are new to our broadcast, I am Jamie Irvin. I am Monday and Wednesday filling in for Alyssa, educator to trader, and we are going to jump right in and check out what's going on for our futures. The stock futures rise ahead of potentially major week for major tech companies. Dow futures is up 0.60%, S&P futures up 0.61%, and Nas futures up 0.70%. Last reported for Europe, the DAX up 0.84%, FTSE up 1.80%, which was the most. CAC up 0.35%, and FTSE Milano, FTSE MIB was down 0.61%. Stock 600 up 0.64%. European stocks start the week higher as markets look to regain momentum. FTSE nears record high. Ain't that something? All right, Asia mostly up. Asia markets rebound from Friday's sell-off. China leaves benchmark loan prime rates unchanged. ASX 200, which is Australia, up 1.08%. Nikkei up 1%. Kospi up 1.45%. HSI, Hong Kong up 1.77%, which is the most, and Shanghai down 0.67%, the only one that was down. For the Russell 2K, last reported for them was 0.24%, but the VIX currently is down 3.15%. We're down to 18 and 12 cents. All right. That's what's going down with them. Good morning, Tamar. Good morning, Jade. So for our Forex Factory today, there's nothing being reported. Forex Factory. Beep. Straight flat line. What we do have, though, for this is our investing.com, actually. At 8:30, Chicago Fed National Activity, which is 1 star. 11:30 is a 3-month bill auction and the 6-month bill auction. Both are 1 stars. So there's nothing major, quote unquote, major that we would say is happening this morning, but you all know how it goes. Anything could happen at any given time, right? Hello, good morning, Ciceline. So here's earnings. We got some big dogs stepping up, and because there's so many, I won't name all of these, but there are certain ones that definitely need to be highlighted. For example, Verizon is stepping up. They're a big dog in their space. Just because of the name. I mean, come on, player, you can't ignore that one, right? Right. Okay. Imagine working for that company. The opening bell. Good morning, Marcia Dawson. Imagine working for ass though. You'd be like, oh, I work for ass. Really? So we got Cleveland Cliffs right here. This is after close today. So we could probably check Verizon to see what they did before earnings, if anything. I know that we got SAP, who is definitely a big dog. AGNC is a real estate investment trust company. So they pay dividends. So that's how I know that is. So that's after close today. But again, we have this list, Globe Life, right here has popped up on some of our radars. Probably barchart.com. I think I've seen them on there as well. So that's after close on today, Tuesday. We got GM, UPS, GE, Pepsi, Spotify, and JetBlue. Halliburton is in this mix as well. Oh, yeah. So in case y'all wondering, over on the weekends is when I put in orders in my SAM account. So that's what you might be hearing, all the orders filling. So that's what's happening before open. All of these here. GM is very interesting, obviously, because boop, they are a competitor with Tesla from the standpoint of GM, Ford, some of everybody, car manufacturers in general. Everybody's trying to make sure they capture the EV market. But overall, the EV market has been kind of shifting because the demand isn't what doesn't seem to be what they thought it would be. And so even Tesla recently had to slash their prices. And so tomorrow morning with GM reports, it'll be interesting to see what goes down with that, and Tesla after close tomorrow. Also, Visa is a major player, as well as Texas Instruments. Texas Instruments is in the tech space as well. Many times when we talk about tech companies, we're usually talking about the Meta and Google and Microsoft, but Texas Instrument is in that space as well. Before open on Wednesday, of course, we got Boeing, which we all know. I mean, come on, right? Really, the plane parts is popping off. So this will be interesting to see what's going on with them. And of course, how that's going to impact some of the airlines that are going to be reporting later in the week, if it reports it if it impacts it at all. But we get AT&T stepping up as well, and that's on Wednesday before open. After close on Wednesday, we got Meta, IBM, Ford, of course, competitor to GM, Chipotle, ServiceNow, Lam Research is in the tech space there and there. And so that's happening. So this will be Tuesday, Wednesday, definitely two major days. Thursday before market open, you got American Airlines here. I see Royal Caribbean, Altria. That's they're more known for like smoking. Caterpillar, and here's Southwest. So that's another airline reporting on Thursday before open. After close, you got Microsoft, Alphabet, Intel, Snap, Roku, Western Digital, Dexcom. I mean, right there, that's enough of a list to do some shaking. Of course, T-Mobile, which competitor to Verizon, Gilead, Skechers, and then Friday before open, ExxonMobil, Chevron, those who are competitors, of course. AbbVie is a major. This looks like Colgate Palmolive right there. And so I think that if this is Charter Communications, which I think it is, that's what it looks like. I can't see that. But so that's on Friday before open. So this is one of those weeks that we have a pretty full earnings lists. This is the kickoff, if you want to say it that way. But each day before and after, you have some type of well, except for Friday, there's nothing reported after. But the majority of the week, you have something being reported after. So there could very well be some volatility jumping off. You know what I mean? That's kind of how it works, it seems. Good morning, Lisa Henry and Patrick. Welcome to the crew for this morning. We got Mancini. After 6 red days in a row, some green to start in SPX. 49.40, 45 was a major support on Friday as posted. We hit 49.41 and bounced. Playing today, I see 49.77, 49.70 supports as long as above. Next up comes the big 49.94, 96 test again. Then 5007 plus bottom. We did begin if 49.70 fails. So we're looking at 49.70. That's what I'm going to be putting on my chart. 49.70. We're going to switch this to the 15-minute. 49.70. Put this on here. It's going to be the Mancini number for today. And actually, probably should make this red since it's the one we really need to capture. 49.70. Right? So that's the one we're going to be looking at. We really need that one to stay strong. This morning, we had a gap up. So we're going to mark that real quick as well. Let me see. I was tracking the ES. Let's see. Close on Friday at 5003. And pre-market, it was 5033. All right. Then, you know, that SPX is right behind it. So I'm not surprised that this was up when it gapped. All right. So we'll mark that. So again, this line is for Mancini. This other one is for the gap. I'll put Mancini name on there. That's his number. Marking the gap because it gapped up, and then we'll come back and look for the 15-minute information. 49.70. Okay, so these are just making sure we ain't got no other extra numbers we might want to toss in here. But this is mainly about supports, is what this is talking about. So, economic calendar was empty. All right. So, let's go and look at what people want started. Good morning, Ward. Lady T, good morning. We got Tesla on the docket, and it looks like Dash. Look at Dash. Before we do that, I probably should have. We're looking at the 15-minute chart right now. This is what happened on Friday when it opened. It was just a down glide. This was trended down the whole day, so there was no upward movement at all. So that is something to be aware of as we watch for these levels. If it tries to push up, we already know it'll be, trying to push up past the high of, let's say, Friday, things like that. Those are also our resistance areas moving forward. So no major upward movement on Friday. We'll hit Dash first. Let's see. DoorDash. All right. Let's see. He's gathering DoorDash's information. We'll start off at the top, see what we're looking at. DoorDash is hitting a monthly. We're on a monthly chart right now, and DoorDash is actually just broke past this area right here, which is turned around right here. In the past, this was April of 21. And then, so this was the support. Then it became resistance right here, April of 22. And now we're in April of 24. And it's finally breaking past that. So that's why, that's one of the reasons why I mark these the way I do to see, what happens in the past. But this is a perfect example of what I call what I learned was a parity line. Support right here became resistance right here, and now it broke through it sometime later. So this is on the monthly. Take a look at the weekly. So over here on the weekly, right here, found its seller's level right there. Didn't go up as high as over here, but we got a turnaround right here. This is where price was. You can see it bouncing on that line right here. So makes sense that it will be right there, and it is breaking past this. Right now, this is on the weekly chart. So what I do notice here is that this was resistance over here before, and it broke through this time. And this time when it broke through on the weekly chart, it went to retest this line and it bounced off right here. So, and again, this is on the monthly, but it broke through that monthly line, which is a strong price point, and it bounced off that. So that's something to be aware of. And if I was going to put a line in for the weekly, that's where I would be putting it anyway, because it turned around right here. So this would be the zone that I would be putting it in regardless. Matter of fact, let's do it this way. Let's add this in. Right? So that's where that would be going. It turned around here. Well, this is where it's at right now, but this is the zone where it turned around in this area before. And I try to catch the ones where it's an obvious turnaround, like this one. Those are on the weekly. They're on the weekly. Okay. I'm reading what let's see. I hear you, Janae. I'm looking for the way to turn the joker off so that you can see it. On my end, it is not showing up anymore. I'm trying to figure out how to turn off the banner, y'all. I just saw Janae's message, but on my end, it's not showing up. Let's see. Let me see. Oh, you know what it is. There you go. Matter of fact, we'll do this. How about that? Let me know if that works for you guys. All right. So we have the turnaround point up here. That's where we had our last seller zone on the weekly. Turn around here as it was coming down. So no surprise that it would be bouncing in this area. And then we have a turnaround right here. So that's on the weekly. No problem, Shanae. Then here we have recently, this has been on a downtrend, but I'm noticing that this is the weekly line that we just put on, and we're on the daily chart, and it is bouncing off this. And right now, it's look like it's stuck between the weekly price point and the monthly up here, the blue one, and the weekly right here. But this is a cheer formation, so I'm not surprised. So what I'm gonna do, gonna look at start this one on the daily without knowing how long somebody would be in this trade. But if you're working with the standard formations, leg in, two in the base, leg out, there's your seller zone right there. Okay. There is a gap right here. And this will be a buyer's gap. Why? Because the buyers pushed up, right? There's a rush of orders creating this gap. And so when it comes back down to test this gap, we can guesstimate that there will be buyers in here. But these buyers push that price up right there. The only thing I would say about this particular I don't know. I really don't see a clear, let's say, traditional buyer zone on the daily. But if I was going to mark anything, I'll be marking it in this area anyway where the gap is. So I'll be somewhere in here regardless. So what I would do now, this could be a leg out right here in this situation. Again, when it comes to this kind of stuff, starts getting left up to interpretation many times, but I prefer to have like a stronger leg in and a stronger leg out. But I always say, I look at how other people chart it, and I've seen it where this would be the leg in, this is the base, that's the leg out. I've also seen it charted this way, where this would be the leg in, two of these would be in the base, and this would be the leg out. So now this is DoorDash, and the difference between here and here is not even it's not even $1. If this is 121.28, this is 121.87. Right? So however you want to do that, it's up to you. But I will say that either way, the important thing is to understand that the buyers are in this zone. So regardless of which one you choose, just be aware that there's buyers in here. These lines right here pushing up, buyers. So this whole area, and you got the top of this gap, it's all buyers in there. So that's something to be aware of. Okay. If I was looking to get into some type of trade, and again, this is trending down, so I want to make sure we acknowledge that as well. There's a couple different ways I guess you can do this. But I'm gonna. So this is the downtrend. I'm gonna make it a channel essentially. So that's going down, and because of where it's hitting right now, it could be getting ready to come back up. Because we're at a level where it has bounced before or turned around before. So that is always a possibility. So all I'm doing is just looking for the most amount of touches. Don't have to be perfect, but um, there's a couple of ways to do this as well. Probably there and here. Let's see, something like that. Something like that. I know it's not that far off. You can even pull this out a little bit because you got so many touches in there that's happening. And if you wanted to pull this in because these lines are bouncing off the same area, that would just mean that these came out a little bit, and that's fine too. But we got touch here, touch there. So we got enough of a channel to establish that there was a trend happening. This is on the 4 hour, right? So all it means is that this just prices came out a little bit, something like that. But if we're looking at it on the 4 hour, I would be, I guess you can look at the call credit spread up here or put credit spread down here, depending on what you're trying to do. So if you're going for this Friday, you got 5.8. So let's go. See here, 128 plus, I'll say 6. If you're going to go above 134, we're adding our current price to the volatility, implied volatility. If you add and subtract it to that number, that gives you a range that we are using to go outside of. Not investment advice at all whatsoever, but it is a good starting point to investigate. Okay. So I see 134. If you're going to do a credit spread, that will be 9 cents over here. All right. So that's if you're going above price, getting out the way as much as you can. 134 is 85% out of the money. If you want to go a little bit closer, which is 133, just some people will do that. Be like, well, this is still 80% off the money. That's 22 cents, obviously more, but you are definitely getting closer. Me personally, because of the volatility number, I probably would be more prone to stay at 134. That is just me. You got 127. Well, we can say 128 minus 6 would be 122. Be down here. Right, 79% out the money. And again, you know, some people will get even closer up here as well. I'm usually in the 80s. You know, hey, some people get closer in the 70s. Same over here. I'll probably be in this area 121 to be under that number. That's 82% out the money, right? So that'll be 14 cents for that trade to expire this Friday. So this is this is Thinkorswim. This is Thinkorswim, Ward. So that would be 82%. Again, if we went with 122, so that's 11 cents. And if somebody wanted to go again, like I said, if you get started 74%, let's say, that's going to give you better premiums, but you'll be closer to the fire. So closer to the fire you get, the fire being current price, the higher your premium will be. But I try to go outside of those particular numbers just to see and be on the safe side. So those are the numbers that I see. 1 right now is 128. So 133. Not as much premiums up here at the 81%. But 133 is the number to go outside of in terms of the math. But one step down and you'll get a little bit more premium. Right there. I think it was 9 cents before. So that's what we're looking at in terms of Dash. We got Tesla on the list as well. And as a matter of fact, before we do Tesla, swing back and take a look-see at what's going on with the 15-minute. Some of us, there's what's called the 15-minute breakout. So we look at what's going on in the first 15 minutes and make a determination on the breakout, which direction. A lot of us will do the PDT hack in this scenario. This has come down. This is the gap. The gap up from here. Now it's pushed down. I follow price action, so I'm moving this line because it is pushed down at that area. What I'm marking now is the 15-minute candle. The first candle, first 15-minute candle, and where it is going. And that is the that we wait to see if it's going to break out of. And some of us trade that breakout. If I was doing it, I'll be looking to do the PDT hack, a pattern day trading hack. But as of right now, it has not broken out quite yet. Right? So Tesla has earnings this week. See what Tesla been looking like. Tesla been dropping, man. Look at this. This is a free fall, right? Since July of 23. They have been on a down glide. They broke past their previous low. And quite honestly, it looks like they're headed down here. I will say this. It's been a lot of, at least in the news, I can say it's been a lot of trucks reported as being recalled, but I will say enough, they're getting enough negative feedback about those cyber trucks. So that couldn't possibly be helping. I think I'm okay with that. Just looking for where it turned around. It was one here, so I'm gonna put this one here because it turned around here, and this is where it broke past. Technically, you can say the same thing about this over here, but the idea is it is definitely having a strong push to the downside on the monthly chart. And this is what it will be looking like on the weekly. Man. I want to feel bad for Tesla, but Elon keep making it hard. Always tweeting something. All right, so there's a couple ways to chart this, but like I said, I've seen multiple ways that this has been charted, even recently, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm always looking for the channel or some type of, you know, channel to say where it could bounce off, where it could travel in between as a gauge. Obviously, it's not a crystal ball. Um, but if I was doing the channel, I would be looking at something like this. These prices have bounced off this top line. So I would be looking in that. For the weekly, looking at that as a channel. This prices down here have been bouncing off that, so I certainly would be okay with that. Now we get to the daily, get to the nitty gritty. So again, we've been noticing that it's been dropping. When it broke past that monthly, one of the monthly prices, it gapped down, and then it has been gapping down with consistency, it seems. And remember, when something gaps down, that's essentially a rush of orders being pushed down. In this case, a gap would be a rush of orders regardless whether it's up or down. But in this case, this is strong sellers. And they do. So you got this many gaps. These are all gaps, man. You got to remember, so the way gaps tend to work is gaps create a buffer, right? So what I'm seeing on this chart is, in order for this thing to get back to 177, it's got to go through 1, 2, 3 different gaps, plus another seller zone up here. I'm just saying, I don't know if I'll be going bullish on Tesla right now. That is for certain. Over here is where we have a buyer zone, and this is January 25th of 23. Right, so this is where I see a buyer zone happening. So I'm going to put this in. Leg in, two in the base, and it just gaps up right there. And we'll put this in there so we can see tell the difference that there's something there. There's a gap, a smaller gap in between here. And then we have a formation that looks to be a strong formation right here. So it's got some, matter of fact, we'll, just so we can tell the difference. Let me see. We'll switch these two so we can tell the difference with the different zones that we have. Let's do it that way. All right. And I'm switching those because this line with the dashed line is the line that I use when there's the parity line that I was referring to earlier, where price has been support, it's been support and resistance before. I use that dashed line to let me know that that's one of those type of lines. So in this case, that would be at the bottom. So that's why I switched those two. To be honest with you, this one right here could also be one of those lines as well, because it has some activity over here. Didn't connect up here. But let me see. Yep, I can make that line the same. This line right here would be one of those type of lines. It's been that support and resistance type line in the past. So that way, when I am charting, I know, okay, this could be a strong point or a weak point, but there could be some activity happening right there. And just so happens that that's where it ends up being in the middle of. So these two right here, there's a cheer, that cheer formation headed that way. That's where this is at right now. And then this is the yellow bottom of that trend line that we looked at. That's what's happening here. Okay. So this is in a buyer zone, kind of in the middle of the buyer zone though, but that's where it's at. So there are some buyers here at in this 138 area. And what I'm going to do on here is put share for 22, 24. Share formation, and we'll put that on the right. Right? So we know this is it right here. And we will put an arrow on it as well. Oops. So we can identify it next time. Let's go over my arrows. Because my assumption is that we'll be coming back to, any of us can be coming back to look at this at any given time, right? So we'll do it that way. And that's where we will be coming back to look. So this is in a buyer zone. However, if it's going to come up, it's got some heat. So, and this is before earnings. So I personally certainly would be trying to carry anything through earnings. Not with Tesla, because Tesla does have a habit of being a tad bit volatile just in general, but especially around earnings. So if we did 143, get current price, and we added, let's say 16 to that to do a call credit spread above it, we'll be looking at I'll be looking at 160 myself. 159, 160, I'll be somewhere in here. But I certainly will be closing this before Thursday. So that's a 2.5 spread. So that's more than 10%. Return on collateral, 2.5 spread is $250 of collateral. So $35, $250 of collateral. With all that support, I'm sorry, with all that resistance in the way, whew, I don't know. I probably would do something like that. Of course, it feels fast when you're in the sim. Everybody knows that, right? All right. So let's see here. That's what I'll be looking at. Obviously, some people would want to look at what's happening below. Again, I would not be down there because it could still keep dropping. If you did 127, yeah, I'll be going way below 127. I would be down here somewhere. 82%, 83%, something like that. But again, you're not going to get as much premium because you're further away. When it comes to this particular situation, one thing I definitely would be doing is pulling out an indicator or 2, 3, or 5, depending on what you're trying to do. And I'll be looking at it from that angle. What is it? What are these? This is on the daily chart. So what I'm seeing here, this up here is a 200 moving average. So that's the 200 up there, the red one. This purple one is like, I think, the 21, and this one is the 9. Okay. So these are lined up in a row in terms of, um, the time frames and moving averages. All three of these are in a row. They're providing resistance, all three in a row, and they're providing resistance on the daily chart. So, me personally, I probably would be staying away from a call credit spread. I'm sorry, a put credit spread down here. I probably wouldn't be messing around because these look like, everything seems to be moving towards, at least for today anyway, moving towards that being some resistance. So that's what I see that happening. Obviously down here we got this at about 30. This is the RSI, um, which helps us determine overbought or oversold. 30 is down here, so we were in that, we're in that oversold area. And down here, which is the MACD, we still have strong, a little bit strong selling in terms of what this is showing us. These lines have not crossed yet. Usually, when you see these lines crossing, that's a sign that there may be some type of change happening in terms of direction. So they have not crossed yet either. So yeah, I definitely would be not on that. I wouldn't be doing any calls, anything that's call related right now on Tesla. All right. Not investment advice because I can't give it to you. I'm not qualified, but I'm just looking at what the chart is saying. It seems to be saying to me. All right. We're going to swing back over here and see what's going down with SPX. Remove this study set. There has not been a breakout yet from our 15 minutes. It seems to be trying to push its way out, but the sellers are definitely giving it the smackdown. So it has not been able to break out of what it's trying to do yet. So keep that in mind. Let's see here. So we did this already. So that's out of there. And Sini is out of there. Did that already. Currently, the Dow Jones Industrial Average is up 0.34%. We got S&P 500 up 0.53% and the NASDAQ up 0.71%. The Russell 2K is up 0.40% and the VIX is down 4.92%. So the VIX has dropped some since we've been on the call. All right. Alyssa, I'm assuming you want to add something.
Well, good morning, everybody. How we doing? Hope everybody had a really good weekend. My weekend was crowded, but it was quite fruitful. We had a call last night. We did our usual live at 5 on Sunday. Covered a few really good things on our list. Our graphic has put credit spreads, call credit spreads, and it has some iron condors. All right, so you could check any of those. I don't know if y'all go over any of those. Did y'all get in any of those? Anybody get in any of the things that we saw there? Mm-mm. Nope, not yet. Um, This week, we're definitely going into covered calls for the for our training, our live training. We did cash secure puts. So if you did that, you should definitely be checking out what could be options for cash secure puts. And it would be good to use the put credit spread list. Maybe a good place to start looking for selling cash secure puts in your sim. In your sim, we're perpetrating those. Let's do that first. Um, and I guess that's really kind of about it at this point. Oh, we talked a lot about Peakbot, the new things that are coming. If you wanted to check in on what's going on Peakbot, be sure to go to usepeakbot.com and check that out. If you haven't yet, put in your Peakbot picks. For those of you who are doing the Peakbot challenge, you want to do Peakbot picks over in Twitter. Put in your 10 stocks that you believe are going to be profitable on the quick put credit spread list from the wheels list. Definitely put that there. Okay. This is my last week of school. So we're basically, I won't say it's crunch time, but we're just basically doing crunch time. They got a 22 question final and they were all looking like deers in the headlight. Well, everything we did on this paper, we've done all semester. Why are you acting like you knew? Anyway, that's all I have to say, Jamie. It's back to you.
Alrighty. So we got the SPX is still doing its thing. Like I said, the sellers look like they're not trying to be kind to the price right now. One more, and somebody requested Disney, the Mouse House. Did I do this one already? Did I do Disney already, y'all? You look familiar, but
I think you did it the other day. Disney's been brought up a few times.
all right.
Yeah, I did it last night on the call, and I believe that you did it maybe last week as well.
All right. So I'm like, this is looking familiar, but too familiar. Okay. So we'll do it again since it was requested on today. In monthly chart, Disney has turned around right here. Turn around. We got this. There is not just one, but two. The thing with Disney to keep in mind on the monthly chart, they have a strong buyer zone down here. So $78 price range. And there's a nice little bounce right here in the $91, $92 range. And price has been here before. It's been here before. So be aware of what's happening on the monthly. You can really consider that a cheer, I think, to some degree. But I would mark it as one. Or at the very least as some type of activity happening. On the weekly, you got a couple different things. Recently, it has made that turnaround. This is a previous high over here. So it did not break past that high. So it looks like it is heading down. One of the prices that it is trying to get past, I guess you could say, probably would be in this area. I'll mark this. This is where it bounced off of, but this area is also one of those been here before, coming back through type situations. And you'll probably see that again at 102 right here. See some activity. But for me, the most important thing on the weekly is making sure I'm aware of whatever the trend is. So right now it is trending down. That's the way I will be marking it. Hitting down. Yep. And whoops, forgot the dotted lines. I'll be looking at it like that. To some degree, somewhere in there, it's heading down, and what do they always say? It falls falls faster than it climbs. Price falls faster than it climbs. So I'll be looking at some type of channel like that for the weekly. And here we are on the daily. It is forming something, like it's trying to form something today, but right over here, you have a nice buyer zone that it is a part of, that it is participating in. So this is currently in a buy zone. And we'll do, since it's in the buy zone, we'll do it that way. All right, so this is the buy zone that it's in. It's been revisited once, right here. Depending on how you chart, I wouldn't put this as a formation, but I know somebody who would. What they would do is they would mark this as a gap, right? And they would have put this as a formation, leg in, two in the base, leg out. But it has already been through this part anyway. What they would have put as the gap, it's been through that. I like this formation just because it is a stronger formation, and I'm fine with the one revisit. So that's how I would look at that. But I'm not knocking nobody's hustle, okay? That ain't what I do. Up here is where I will put the seller zone, and I would be okay with leg in, base, leg out. I'm usually not partial to smaller leg ins, but we got a gap right there as well. So we definitely have some resistance heading upwards. By the way, if anybody needs some raggedy neighbors, I got like a group that I'm trying to get rid of. You don't got to even pay I'll ship them to you. You ain't even got to pay. The only thing I ask is that you show me proof that you signed for them so they can't come back. I truly appreciate that, because these ones over here are just ridiculous. All right. Please help a brother out. So this is what I got. Buyer zone down here. I would say seller zone about right there. Looks like it's trying to turn around. Still following the downtrend. And if you really want to potty with me, if you really want to check this part out, the 200 moving average is down here, but you still have the 9 and the 20. They are resistance right now. Okay, so that is something to pay attention to. Just based on this so far, I'm not so sure I'll be jumping in to do a call right now. The way this is looking, I don't know. It is showing as being overbought. And on the RSI and this MACD, it is fading. These lines haven't crossed yet, but with these two right here, I don't know if I'll be doing. I don't think I'll be doing a call right now. I'll be looking at call credit spread, but I wouldn't be doing a straight call right now. So that's what I'll be looking for, right? Um, I mean, I could chart this as though I'm using y'all money. It ain't a problem with that. If I was using my cash, my cash, we can go with a call credit spread. 114. All right, let's look at 114. Nah, too close for me. Did I do that right? I feel like I did that right. One, add that two. I'll do three. I'll round it up. All right. Okay. So we're looking at 82% out the money. 82% out the money. So 14 cent, $14. That's on the one spread. $100. What is that? 14%? Right? I'm not the mathematician, just so y'all know. I don't even profess to be that. So please know that. Please know that. We're gonna take this Disney one. We're gonna put it to YouTube AM. Yeah, I feel way more comfortable with the call credit spread at the top. All right. Alrighty. Let's take a look at our SPX, see if there's been any type of breakout. Any type of breakout. Oh, you know who I didn't do? Is my people. We're gonna do my people. Then we're gonna run on over to SPX. Then we're gonna have the benediction. Okay. All right. This is Russell 2000. This is the monthly chart on the Russell 2000. So again, 200 moving average. That's 9. I believe it's 21. So this is providing support at least on the monthly chart. Let me see what weekly looking like. Not sure what the weekly doing. It's a mixed bag, but 200 is still handling his business down there though. And still handling his business on the daily. Let's see what we doing. So at least we know 200 is. But here we are. 200 is above on the 4-hour. I don't know, player. 200 is above on the 1-hour. I don't know if I feel comfortable doing a call on this one. I'm just saying. I'm gonna go ahead and chart this, but I would say that I would not be doing a call credit spread on that. I'm sorry, I would not be buying a call on that one. Everything seems to be pointing a little bit and this probably would be a question that Alyssa is better equipped to answer. But when we have charts that are in a situation where some of them are showing, support or resistance, and it's not aligned exactly, what's the move? What's the move to determine which direction to go with those?
When you say aligned, exactly what do you mean?
Well, we just showed that the monthly, let's say the indicated for the monthly, 200 was under, but then when we got to the 4-hour, 200 was over.
Mm-hmm.
So would
Well,
you just be
it's really
going
going to
by?
determine, it's going to depend on what your time frame is for your trading. If you're trading it for, the week, you're definitely going to want to look at that shorter time frame. If you're trading it for several weeks, if you're going out till the next OPEX or something, or 2 or 3 weeks out, then you want to look at a longer time frame. So it really comes down to what is your leaning as far as your time frame on the trade.
Okay, so whenever there's question marks, just go with whatever the time frame is
Which
itself.
whatever matches your, your trade time frame.
Okay. Well, thank you very kindly.
Mm.
My trade time frame in this case would be about a week. I'll be looking at the 4 hour. If I was doing this and um, 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 it's too much clicking with these tools, man. I really wish there was a and if somebody knows this, please let me know. Is there a way to switch the drawing tools, just by keystrokes? Alt F is this and Alt T is that. That's one thing I will say that I liked about TradeStation is that you can use those keystrokes to
You do
maneuver.
have, if it at the top, I think you can pick what you want and then pin them to the top.
No, 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 no. I don't mean this. I
Okay.
mean to be able to use your keyboard to switch
Oh. And I
to
think there's a
those.
way there too. Yeah, I think you can with that too. You're just gonna have to do a
Okay.
look, but I want to say yes.
Okay, good. I'll
Um,
have to find it out. Because I looked for it, could not find it. So if it exists,
yeah,
then
all else fails, go up here to the
yep,
support area and
always.
and
I'm waiting for them
say,
to assign me my
"Hey
own
there."
person.
They probably got your own person. "Hey there," you
Yeah,
know.
like come on, bring it on. Because I've been putting them jokers to work. All right, this is daily. Thank you, Alyssa. This is daily, and I'm gonna place this right here. This is another one of those not my favorite type of formations, but um, my job is to chart it, not marry it. So this is leg in, base leg out in the seller zone on the daily. Um, hey, buddy, I remember this now because I remember this formation down here. This one over here. Yep. So I remember this because we were talking about whether or not we could do leg in, base leg out for a cheer, and or you can do leg in, three in the base, leg out for the V formation. Either way, this is in the buyer zone for right now. So this would be something to watch. The sellers are still pushing it down. And the four. Okay. Look at the buyers are pushing up down here as well. So we got some buyers in this zone definitely, and this is happening. So if you're going to do Russell, they got this happening. Even though it's trying to push up, you still got the 200 right here. This is 9, and that's like 20. So it's doing this push. I don't know. I would not be trying to go long. I'm no call right there. Just me. There are those of us who do trade the breakout like we do for SPX. Some people do the breakout. Well, one of us gave up the ghost. Let me just say that. We had a whole I thought we was building a crew, but this church was like, I'm out. I had no parts of this no more. Um, so let me see. I'm gonna take off our studies and see what we got for the 15 minute. For this one, for its 15 minute, we got it trying to break out a little bit. So far the S&P and Russell have not really done anything in terms of their 15-minute time frames. So I got a feeling that as the week progresses, when we get around this time, it's not going to be a problem with some type of breakout. There may be very well some movement. So there hasn't nothing has happened right there for Russell. It's too early to mess around with IWM. Okay. So here's what happened with SPX. Came up, broke out, and right here it is not only retesting the breakout, but this is the line from the gap earlier, if you recall. The purple line is the line from the gap. So, yeah. This will be interesting to see how it ends up playing off that. If it retests and I guess you could say recoils, then I will be looking to see CCS up here for the 15-minute with a PDT hack. That's what I'll be looking at. Usually right about 10:30 is when I start checking anyway. Give it enough time to do some moving. So, yeah. This would be SPX. Alyssa, you agree with that? Disagree? What? All right.
I can concur.
Okay. It looks like it's doing some bouncing. Bounce, 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 bounce. So let's see. I would give that a little bit of time because we've seen it push back in and then go up the other way. So I'll be watching that though to see how strong of a reaction it gets. But if it continues to bounce off and heads down a little bit, PDT it is. Okay. Okay. So our E2T daily declaration. By faith, I am a successful trader. I'm a wise and knowledgeable trader. I make smart and lucrative decisions for my portfolios. Money likes me. Because money is comfortable around me, it is drawn to me. E2T daily prayer, Lord, give us wisdom and knowledge for our trades today. Help us to make smart and lucrative decisions for our portfolios. Okie dokie, everybody. We're going to need you to stay green and get this money on today. And don't get complacent and assume that because there was nothing on Forex Factory today, that nothing bad can happen. Because it don't work.
We've already had a whole lot of movement, so definitely keep that in mind.
Yeah, it don't work like that. So we had maybe 3 things on the investing.com, but that does not mean that nothing else can happen. All right. So just be careful. That being said, we will bid you adieu. We will talk to you later. We'll be putting the Mancini information in our Telegram group. And don't forget, if you got something out of today's stream, to click like and consider subscribing and also joining our membership, educatedtrader.com. All right. You all have a good one, and we will talk to you later.
Goodbye, everyone. Bye-bye.